First one, how's this unfolded? Again, one of the great things, having put some work in here, right? I think this is sufficiently that, I mean, it might be a bit small for you, but like you can see where these numbers appear from the question. And when I look at this, the structure of it tells me that the person who got this number understood where it came from, regardless of whether it's numerically correct. I haven't checked that yet because I gave my calculator to someone else, okay? Can we just double check? Like, is it constructed properly? 14 and 28, what is that? That is the hourly rate. So we're multiplying that by everything. And then what's in the bracket represents what? Like how would you give a title to everything in the brackets?
Hours time.
That's kind of the equivalent of, and I say equivalent because she doesn't work that actual amount of hours, but it's the equivalent of what number of hours she's worked because there's 35 normally, is that hour, right? Then this next 8 hours counts for 8 times 1.5, right? So there's that time and a half, which I guess means 12. This 2 number, where did that come from? Okay, so double time, and then we get 10 because...
That's the leftover.
Alright, that's leftover. So this is good because the 10 actually is not given to you in the question. You kind of just have to work that out. 35 plus 8, of course, brings you up to 43, which means that 10 that's left over brings you up to the full amount. That looks perfect to me. So assuming that we've popped that into our calculator correctly, I give that a big thumbs up. Okay? Happy with that?
So they got the last.
Yes. And then the last one?
the
Okay,
last
we'll get
one.
to that. Let's have a look at this one. So again, the brackets so helpful because they tell us what's what. They sift out the different parts of the actual number. So what's this part? This is the commission part, right? Sales and a percentage. Perfect. Very important that if you're going to go ahead and, as this is done, Adam, would you get the window for me, please? If you're going to go ahead and write 5.8 as it's written in the question, you absolutely must include the percent sign, right? You don't have to if you don't want to write the percent, but if you don't, you've got to write it as a decimal because you certainly cannot write 5.8 times whatever. You'll get one of those answers where it's like, earning millions of dollars, right?
Yes.
So you've got to watch out for that. Right? The symbol's important. We've done that. What's this bit? What's this piece?
The retainer.
That's the retainer, and we've seen how many days per week she works, so that's where it comes out. Looks perfect to me. Okay. Now down here, let's just actually piece this together. So weekly travel allowance of $50.20. Yeah. So,
Sorry, just a second question. You know
Yeah.
what's 5.8%?
yeah.
Isn't that per day that you were saying?
Okay, that's a great question. When you have a look, right, 5.8% commission, what does commission apply to? And the answer is, it's how much you sell, right? It's how much you sell. So in some senses, this number has nothing to do with the per day or the number of days. Like had she sold the same amount of stuff in a day, she'd still make that amount. Does that make sense? So that's why the sixth day never comes into play here, right? Because it's independent of the amount of time you spend, right? Good question. Okay, just lastly, let's finish this up. Weekly travel allowance of 50/20, right? So I see that something's going to work on a weekly basis. How many weeks are there in a year? 52. Okay, so I've got some space up here. So, right, 52. Okay. The first thing that she gets is that travel allowance, so that's $50.20. Okay. And what am I going to add on to that?
The 18.20.
Okay, so this 1872, right, happens per hour, right? So if I add on 1852, then it stands to reason. Sorry, 72. Yeah. It stands to reason that then I need to know, well, how many hours? An hourly rate matches up with a number of hours. Okay. I'm clearly running out of space over here, but we can work this out, right? How do I do this?
4 times.
Okay, 4 hours per weekday. So times 4 times 5 weekdays in a week, and then that's only 1 week's pay, right? Is that okay?
No, it's the same.
That's why there's the 22.
Okay, now remember, I started out with 52, right? I wrote that right at the front, and then I put brackets here. So I guess remember how we entitled this thing here, the title of these brackets would be total number of hours, right? Over the course of the week. I would title this total amount earned over the course of the week. So I don't need to multiply this by 52 again. I've already done that, okay? Do we land here?
No.
What do we? How far off are we?
We're in the 2000s.
Say that again.
22. 07.
0. Wait.
0,
079.
7 and 9.
20.
Okay. All right. Now, interesting to have a look back because we always get like different numbers, and the key is, well, how does this number emerge? It's very close. Like we're clearly in the right ballpark. So something's gone on in here, right? Maybe it's this amount,
Yeah, it's
possibly. That might be the discrepancy. So this is why, when you get to an answer, right? One of the great things you can do. You remember I showed you on the quiz. Is you go through your question, right? And you say, okay, let's have a look here. Have I accounted for this number, right? Have I accounted for this number? Have I accounted for this and this, 4 and 5, right? And as you mentally check off all of the things in the question, you look at your first line of working. It should have all of them. Does that make sense? So that's just a little way for you to check.